So in an applicant tracking system, when somebody applies, it goes to 100 job boards, LinkedIn, Facebook, any place you can possibly put the ad, it goes everywhere. Once you get people into the ATS respond in real time, the next thing you need to do is do an assessment. So it's a detailed psychological profile. And what it does, it tells you who they are as a person. So if you succeeded at a project manager, we know what your personality should look like. Next thing we do is integrity and attitude. We literally assess their honesty. Then we have an IQ assessment. We do a total personality profile, total intelligence profile, and integrity profile. So by the time we're done with that, we pretty much know that they're the right personality, intelligence, and the right integrity of the job. We do a video interview on top of that. And then in the video interview, you can find out everything else you didn't find out in the assessment by asking them all the right questions.
Today's episode is brought to you by one of our show partners, UpFrog.
UpFrog is the OG when it comes to pricing transparency online. They find system replacement leads through paid ads and have developed an entire system to drive those hard-to-find system replacement opportunities, nurture the leads, and book them into sold systems before your team arrives to help you grow your business.
Hey, I'm Krista with MarketStorm, and we work with home service companies across the country. Quick question. If another HVAC or plumbing company in your area starts influencing homeowners before they ever hit Google, who gets the first call? By the time someone searches plumber near me, they've already been researching the problem. We use AI to detect those early intent signals and put your brand in front of them. So when they do search, your name already feels familiar. Visit marketstorm.ai or text us at 213-575-5448.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope you're having a great day. You're listening to a Watching the Service Business Mastery podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett, sitting virtually next to my co-host, Joshua Crouch. And we have the pleasure of talking to Paul today about hiring and some best practices. And I think that Paul's going to even give us some examples of how he uses AI in the hiring process. So with that being said, Paul, you want to make an introduction of yourself, who you are, kind of your background?
Okay, so I've been working with contractors and coaching them for 50 years. I think I've worked with over 2,000 plus contractors. So I've been doing this a long time. About 5 years ago, the problem was I could get people from 2 to 20 million, but they couldn't find their people, right? Which is a problem. So I originally came up with all this really cool software, all the best technology. I gave it to them and they totally screwed it up. Okay, fine. So I put a guy in my garage and I said, I just want you to recruit for my clients. And fast forward 4 or 5 years, we now have 35 people on the team. We've recruited over 2,500 people. 95% of them work out, go through 6,000 or 7,000 resumes a week. We went through 500,000 resumes to find the 2,500 people we hired. And I've learned a lot of what works and doesn't work. So I hope to convey to your audience what I've learned after hiring 2,500 people that worked out and what they can do to do it themselves if they want to.
That's what's up. Very cool. Josh, you got anything?
No, actually, I got introduced to Paul back on his podcast. So Paul, you have your own podcast. You want to mention the name of that just in case anyone wants to learn more about hiring and stuff like that from through your show?
Business Success Tips is more of everything. We have like 200 affiliates. They're, software companies, marketing companies, that kind of thing. So I'm always trying to introduce to my client base new cool technology and people and services. So that's what that podcast is about. It's called Business Success.
And what Paul didn't say is I was the best interview he's ever had.
The lowest.
You weren't the best looking, Josh, but you were the best.
I didn't say best looking.
I did not say downloaded episode ever.
The least downloaded. You had one download. It was probably myself.
It was your mom.
There you go.
It was like,
we're the number one rated podcast according to my mom.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yours does comment on a lot of our stuff, but
my mom does comment on
I know
a lot
you know that. But.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Paul, so obviously, talk us through maybe we can get kind of caught up like the last couple of years because it's been such a crazy roller coaster for hiring and
First place, I want to tell you that if you have problem recruiting, it's you, it's not the market. That's,
And what do you think some of the big challenges are? Do you think it's...
Well, the biggest challenge is the owner of the business. That's the biggest challenge. I'm going to tell you some things.
Get out the way.
All
so
right.
Tersh is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. That's what I'm hearing.
Josh, I'm pretty sure you own 3 businesses or 4.
This is the problems in recruiting. I call them limited beliefs. All right. The first one is only recruit when you need somebody. It's not true. The truth is you should recruit all the time. But unfortunately, The way contractors think, they think it's a project. They don't think it's a process. They just recruit when they need people. And it really gets in the way.
Yeah. Can we dig into that for a second, Paul? Because Tersh and I both been a part of coaching groups, and we personally know this very well. And it is a difficult limiting belief to always have some sort of ads up or always be looking for people. Because what a lot of people say, and a lot of people have the best of intentions. They want to make sure somebody's got full-time work. They don't want to lay them off. Like, they have great intentions when they say, this is why I'm not hiring. But I mean, how do they?
Well, can you think
is it a belief? Is it like stepping over the ledge and just like,
think of a sports team that doesn't recruit all the time. I mean, come on. There's always your best and your worst players, and it's just part of owning a team. And I'm assuming if you're a contractor, you own a team. If you own a team, you're always looking for the best players you can find. You don't want to say, I'm done.
If you haven't grown your company, it hasn't grown. Do you advocate that you release the bottom 10 or 20% every year?
Well, here's what I tell people. All right. And that's going to get a little later. If there isn't anybody you would rehire, if you started your company over, you should fire.
We've had some of them in the past.
And so it gets in the way. And I'm going to get the second belief that gets in the way, guys, is employees are expensive. Oh, I can't afford that guy. Oh, he's expensive or she's expensive. You can't make money without employees. The more employees you have, the more money you make. And so get over it. I mean, employees,
as long as they're not just squatting on the clock and doing nothing.
Then you got to fire them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the third that gets in the way, and I fight with this all the time. We can do it ourselves. What's so hard about recruiting, right? But you fix your own car? Probably not. Do you do your accounting?
Tersh does.
Not.
I don't fix my own cars anymore. It's too much of a pain.
Never mind. Tersh is a gear. He's a gearhead. So
I'm a
if he doesn't
gearhead,
fix them, nobody does.
Those things have gotten so freaking
if you don't have
smart.
a computer, you can't even talk to your car anymore, right?
Yep.
So, and so for some reason people think, oh, what's recruiting? I put an ad in, Indeed, and I'm done. It's bullshit. You need to hire somebody that knows what they're doing, and that gets in the way. The next one, this is a biggie. Recruit within the construction industry. I will tell you, I've hired over 2,500 people. That's a lot of people. And a lot of them weren't based in construction. For example, think about you're hiring a selections coordinator, right? What about a wedding planner? I mean, think about what a wedding planner has to do. They've got to get these sort of flaky groups together. The band, the venue, the flower person.
Sort of flaky.
All those people have to be together at the right time in the right place. It's got to look good. It's got to work. And the client has to be incredibly happy. Her mother-in-law. It sounds like a remodel to me, right? And so that talent is what you use for selection. You can always teach people the industry, but you can't teach them who they are as a person. So we hire a lot of people outside the industry that just kill it. So, you can put construction experience preferred, but not required. The next one, this is a killer. People believe they should hire fast and fire slow.
That's what we've always heard.
What's your belief?
Hire slow and fire fast. So hire fast and fire slow so you don't recruit all the time. So
what you said the second time is what we did. My dyslexia kicked in on that one.
I got confused too. So
yeah, you're right.
No,
yeah.
I just want to make sure I got your feedback there.
So what happens is if you're recruiting all the time, you should hire slow, right? Don't hire fast because you probably hired the wrong guy.
So you hire mirror foggers when you do that.
Yeah, and so you hire slow. The reason you should fire fast, that's even more important, is a bad egg can kill your organization, right? One person can come in you hired and he doesn't tell the truth quite all the time. He steps on the flowers. He doesn't respect you, blah, blah, blah. You spent years building a culture and he can destroy it in 6 months, or she can destroy it. So that's why you hire slow and you fire fast. And the last one is recruiting is a project that ends. It never ends. You should always be recruiting, always be looking for people. The two things I've been coaching for many years is always be recruiting and always be marketing. Because if you have great clients and you have great employees, this is an awesome industry. But if either one of them suck, it's horrible.
Oof. Yes, you are 100% correct on that one. 100%. Absolutely.
So,
Josh and I have been talking about
someone
this
speaking
recently.
from experience. We literally were just talking about some stuff from Tersh's stuff. So he's been feeling that
pain.
Right? So, that's what gets in the way. So if you have a recruiting problem, it's you. It's not the market. It's not the company. It's your practices. So I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. Okay. I'll tell you what we do, how we pull it off. There's no big magic to it. But if you don't follow these steps, you're going to be in trouble. All right.
So before we do the screen share and show and go into some of that stuff, so you mentioned always be recruiting, always be marketing. To me, and maybe it's because I like posting on Facebook and doing that stuff. I feel like it's easy to always be like indirectly recruiting, meaning I'm not necessarily posting a job, but I'm posting about what it's like to work here, or
but Josh,
the
you
feedback
also
the team gets, or stuff like that.
That's not how you always were, though. Like, even when you and I first met, you weren't big in making a lot of videos, like I feel like that's more new for you, because now it's like you educate so much that it's second nature to you to keep educating, which in turn turns into, marketing for new hires.
It's like, it's indirect essentially for like finding new employees.
Because Josh, do it directly. I mean, I'm going to go through this process. You don't want to be sort of shy about it. You want to put everything you can.
Well, so I'm not saying anything like that. So what I'm saying is this, the content that you put out is always in, like, so I'm literally, after this, I have 2 interviews for a director of SEO position for us. And the feedback we get when people send us messages and stuff like that is like, they candidates today, at least in my opinion, because there's so many things out there about a company that they can learn before they ever get into an interview. Just like we can learn a lot with an applicant tracking system, which we're going to get into, is that they are paying attention. They're looking at LinkedIn. They're looking at Facebook. They're looking at all of these different places. Like, if you are active and you are putting out good content and it's quality, it's not just crap stuff thrown at a wall and hoping something sticks. People pay attention. They're like, wow, I really like all the stuff that you guys put out. And I get that feedback a lot. That's not the reason I'm putting the content. Honestly, a lot of the content we put out is for like our contractors, people that we want to bring on as clients, but prospective employees see it, and they are the ones that see it like, wow, this is great. This is the kind of company I want to work at.
Well, building social proof is really important. I think that's a fantastic thing. But at the same time, you still have to have your feet in the line in the water, right? You can't not put it out there. And that's why you should be recruiting all the time. So I'm going to this. It's pretty simple. The first thing you do is you got to write. I'll show you how to do this in ChatGPT when I'm done. But you got to write a killer job ad, because your ad has to get somebody to quit their job and come to work for you. It is not just post a position looking for a director. We got to say, because you don't like your job, you tired of commuting. You got to make it an ad. It's not just a description. So you got to get an ad that somebody's going to read and want to quit their job and come to work for you. Okay, that's important.
Do you have any? Because you mentioned Indeed, and obviously that's probably one of the bigger recruiting places people go to. But the thing is, now not everyone on Indeed's looking. A lot of people looking on Indeed are looking for a job because they don't have one, or they're miserable or whatever. But are there any other places that you're seeing success where good candidates are coming in? Because obviously the best candidates are typically the ones that are gainfully employed, and their employer is happy with their performance, which are much harder to find on Indeed.
Well, not necessarily, Jack. If you put it, when we go on 100 job boards, LinkedIn, Facebook, we put it everywhere. We search the databases. We have a database of 300,000 of our own. We look for this guy, but you've got to be active. I mean, and when I get later, I'll show you all the places you should look, but there's 10 or 15 places you should put it, not one. I mean, so that's the second part, is you put it everywhere, including like LinkedIn, everywhere you can possibly put it. There's a lot of organic stuff out there. You don't have to pay for it, but you've got to know where it is. So you put it on every job board you can. And the next thing is this is the toughest one, Josh. Yeah. You've got to respond to applicants in real time. It's like speed to lead, right? So when someone
that is the worst. I've done hire. So especially our company is entirely remote, and we used to hire for like client success managers, for instance. It's more of it's a position that we take good people and we can train them on the marketing skills. And we would get 300 or 400 applications in like 72 hours.
Right. We go through 7,000.
And we did not have a system when originally we're doing this. And it was extraordinarily painful. Like, I'm hoping you guys can hear the pain. Like, we go through awful.
7,000 resumes a week in real time. So the minute, the average person, we have to go through 300 applicants to find one person. That's the average. So how do you respond to 300
That's
people?
a needle in a haystack.
Right? in real time within, like that's hard to do. That's why the reason we're in business. People can't do it. You can't
And
respond.
still run your business and stuff
You respond to 100 people in real time if they call you back the same day. You're not going to do it. Yet it's
Paul, for the people that, sorry to interrupt you, but for the people that, so we're talking about applicant tracking system, ATS. For people that don't know what that is, because a couple of years ago, I didn't know what that was. Can you explain to people what that is so they, in terms, maybe they can understand?
Okay. It's an applicant tracking system, sort of like the CRM for recruiting. And I can show you ours if you want to see how it works, but I'll show you that and go through the rest of the details. Okay. So let me show you our ATS. Can you do that?
I can pull it up. So for those that are listening to this episode, I do challenge you. We're going to do some screen sharing on this one. So it's a little unique, but try to go to the YouTube link and watch this. It's in the show notes. So just go ahead and click on the YouTube link.
I'll try to explain and what it does. Okay. So in an applicant tracking system, all right, what happens is when somebody applies, we put it in this ATS. It goes to 100 job boards, LinkedIn, Facebook, any place you can possibly put the ad. It goes everywhere in real time. Response in real time. We also have people respond in real time. So once it's put in the ATS, it goes everywhere, and then we respond in real time. Now, if you're looking at the ATS, it's a bunch of names on it, has a bunch of people that are applying. So once you get people into the ATS, respond in real time, the next thing you need to do is do an assessment. There's like a bunch of different assessments out there. I'll show you ours just the heck of it. So if you click on the ATS, I'm clicking on the ATS right now, and it's going to a different screen, and it's showing the people that applied for that job. So I'm going to put somebody that applied for a job with us. You click on them, it goes to he applied to the job. And the next important thing you really need to do if you're recruiting is assessments. Okay. This is our assessment. I have the same call on the screen there last time. Okay. So if you go to the assessment, it'll show you the assessment, and then it goes to, where is it? Its particular assessment. I can explain it to you. Where is it? You go to assessments, and I'll explain. So the assessment basically is a detailed psychological profile. Okay. And I just explain it because sometimes Serena doesn't copy this, but I'll just go it for now. So it's a detailed psychological profile. And what it does, it tells you, we use a DISC profile. It explains who they are as a person. And we have a predicted DISC profile, which means we've done literally 300,000. So we know what a good project manager looks like. We know what the profile of a good whoever we're looking for looks like. So we've already profiled that position. When they take the assessment, we run their DISC assessment against somebody who succeeded at that job. Okay. So if you succeeded at a project manager, we know what your personality should look like, which is really important. So we profile the personality in the DISC. Next thing we do is integrity and attitude. This stuff you can't find out in an interview. We literally assess their honesty, their how will they have they're a victim, who they are as a person. We have a whole profile. We put a psychological profile. Like one of the ways we assess honesty, we ask questions like, let me ask you the question, Josh. Here's the typical question in an honesty question. So you are a project manager, all right? And you've worked for a boss, and he tells you to tell the client the product is going to be there in 2 weeks. You know it's 4 weeks. He knows it's 4 weeks. So what are you going to do? You're going to support your boss and lie, or are you going to tell the truth? You'd fail the test. No, I mean, the point is, you got, if people say, well, they'll lie, then that means their truth telling is conditional, which is bad, right? So by asking questions like that, you can get who they are as a person, and you can't fix that part. You cannot fix who they are as a person. It does not work. So it is important that you do this kind of assessment. And then we have an IQ assessment. We have how smart they are, analytical intelligence, but apply that intelligence. We do a total personality profile. We do a total intelligence profile and integrity profile. So by the time we're done with that, we pretty much know that they're the right personality, the right, intelligence, and the right integrity of the job. Some things we can't find out. How old are you? How old are you? What do you look like? How's your English? So we do a video interview on top of that. With the video interview, they're all structured for each different position. And we ask these questions. And then in the video interview, you can find out everything else you didn't find out in the assessment by asking them all the right questions. So you've done a video interview. Once you've done the video interview, Then you do background checks, you do reference checks, you do a very thorough job. You call the references, and this is like the way you vet an employee. And if you're going to do it, you can't get around these steps. You have to do them all, or you're going to be in trouble. And most contractors don't do that. They literally put an ad in Indeed, see who shows up, and they take the first bite, it looks decent, and they're in trouble.
Well, and you don't know anything about those candidates, and that was one of the things we scheduling interviews based on a piece of paper and a resume, and you get to talk to people and you realize that they're lying on their resume.
Right.
You're like, you don't have that level of experience. Otherwise, you would know some of these things I'm asking you.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's a big problem because it's just a piece of paper. Like, you could literally put whatever the hell you want on there, and you can watch enough YouTube videos to be an expert at something. Like,
right. You have ChatGPT write your resume, it does a pretty good job. So it's like, you have to do all these steps. You have to write the killer job ad. You've got to put it everywhere in the universe. You've got to get back to applicants in real time. You have to do assessments. You have to do interviews. You have to do background checks. You got to call references. You got to make a job offer they got to take. And then you got to have a successful onboarding process. So all this you need to do in order to do it right. Now, if you can do all this yourself, hallelujah, go for it. I figured out a way literally to do it for $1,500 a month for a company and do 5 positions all at the same time, which is really hard to do by yourself. So that's where we've grown so much, because
that's a lot cheaper than hiring an HR person to manage all this stuff, or some kind of supervisor.
4 people on the team, they get all the software, they get all the assessments, they get everything they need. It's no contest, right? So this is like sometimes doing your marketing doesn't make any sense, because you have your kid build your website because he's cheap, not the best idea. So I think it's important that you follow all these steps, and don't those beliefs you mentioned earlier get in the way, like the ones we talked about.
Hello, home service professionals. Do you want to maximize your marketing budget? Then you need to be using call tracking from CallRail. Let's say you noticed a spike in new leads this month. To find out what's driving them, you just log into your CallRail dashboard. Is my new Facebook ad outperforming my other ads? Or is paid search knocking it out of the park? Or maybe it's time to retire those newspaper ads. Since CallRail assigns a unique phone number to each of my marketing efforts, I know where my best leads come from and which efforts to scrap. CallRail shows you your most cost-effective marketing channels so you can get back to business. Go to callrail.com/SBMpod and try it for free.
Quick question. How many calls did you miss last month? Not how many you answered, how many did you miss? Across the home services industry, about 30% of inbound calls go unanswered. And those aren't just tire kickers. Those are customers ready to give their business to whoever books first. Breezy fixes that with AI agents that answer every call, they book the jobs for you, and they follow up instantly. So instead of waking up to missed calls, wake up to booked jobs. If you want to see how many jobs you're losing right now, go to getbreezyapp.com, use code SBM, and they'll give you $500 towards Breezy on us. Now back to the episode.
Yeah, Paul, let me ask you a question. So doing the setup for this, so all of these things that you're mentioning, like now I know because we use an applicant tracking system. For people that have never used one, it sounds like a lot of work. Like I got to do a lot of setup, because there's always the cost, and then there's like the hidden cost, right? The hidden cost is the time, the investment of my time, which of course is a finite resource. What kind of things do you guys have in place to help facilitate so these things, it's not that daunting to get going and get started?
You pay us $1,500 a month and you're done. We give you the applicant tracking system, all the assessments, 4 people to do the work for you. You get a whole team. I mean, you can't do it yourself for nearly what we can do it for, because we provide all those. We use a lot of AI, a lot of extra labor. They're really good. And, we can do it a fraction of the cost. You can do it for yourself. So most of our clients are client contractors between, 5 employees and probably 50. You get 50, 100 people.
Does that include the actual ad spend that you have to do?
If you do it right, you don't have to do an ad spend. We hardly ever spend money on ads because we're really good at it. Occasionally, it's in the middle of nowhere and we can't find anybody with an ad spend. But normally, if you do it right, of the 2,500 people we've hired, I say we use an ad spend on maybe 50, Because now NTs get even worse, because unless you're connected to a well-known ATS, NT's going to charge you for ads. You can no longer do it as a person. They changed that rule in October. So you're going to have to buy
again.
Indeed changed the rules. So you can't go on and place a free ad on Indeed. It won't do that. You have to, unless you have a recruiting company or whatever, you're going to have to pay for ads, or no more free ads on Indeed. It doesn't happen. They changed the rules in October. So
Okay.
you've got to use one assistant like that. You're going to pay for the ads anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can do it way better, and you don't have to pay for the ads because we're already there. So to me, it's sort of a no-brainer. Find somebody to do it for you who's really good at it. Because, when you take your time, you have the ATS, how do you get back to people in real time, filling assessments, do all the reference calls, do all the videos.
Try to remember it and not
Well,
drop
and
the
then
ball.
that's the thing, like, because when we were doing this manually, so we'd send out the first thing, and we try to put something in the ad that would be like, okay, you got to follow this instruction. It's kind of hidden. It's like an Easter egg, right? It's like hidden in the ad. You like put this subject as your thing for the email, and then the next step. And as soon as we get that, we send you something else. But then when they got together the interview, we're like trying to piece all this stuff together. Like, okay, where's the resume? Where's the answers to the questions? Where's this thing? And like, it was overwhelming to try to piece the things together. We were using like a Google Sheet. I had a VA that was helping us put together this Google Sheet of like all the links to everything, so we could just open it up. But man, it's time consuming. Like, it was again very painful.
ATS, the ATS is going to cost you $400 anyway. It's any good. And the problem is you still got to get back to people in real time. And that's the deal breaker for most contractors. Because if you have 50 people applying a day, who in the hell's going to call them? Right. And yet you're competing for the quality candidates. So you've got to get back to in real time. It's speed to lead. So it makes it really hard. That's the hardest part about doing it yourself. You can go to ChatGPT, and I can do it here. You can say, I am a remodeling, or I am a roofing contractor in Kansas City. I'm looking for roofers. I'm paying this much money. Please write a job ad that will get people to quit their job. Give me the KPIs. Give me all the places I should put it. You're a great HR person. Give me the onboarding process, and it'll do all that for you. You prompt it, and it will write the ad. It will give you the KPIs. It will tell you all the places to put it. It will tell you the key, how to do onboard. It does everything for you. Just give it the right prompt, and you're done. But that's the easy part. Getting it all done is the hard part.
Implementing it. Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
It's gotten a lot easier because you go to, it'll do all that. It'll write the ad, all that stuff I talked about for you. It does a great job of that. But who's going to track people in real time? Who's going to get back to? Who's going to interview?
That's the challenging part. Yeah.
And so that's why it's if you do it right, much less expensive to hire somebody else to do it. Now, most recruiting companies charge a percent of first year salary, which we don't do. We just charge a flat fee, which is way less expensive. So, you can do it yourself, but think about how much time and energy you're going to spend. And my guess is way over $1,500 a month if you're looking for good people. There's no contest.
Well, just the time, like it's not even for me personally, it's not even a monetary thing. It's the time, because Tersh and I talk about this all the time. When you have, even if you just have one business you're trying to grow, and you got techs and office, and trying to wear all the hat, like to do hiring, you can't grow your business by marketing and selling and do some of the other things. So something has to take a back seat. Right. So the hidden costs of these things is something else gets removed from your activity. So now maybe your lead flow slows down because you're not creating content, or you're not doing something, or checking with your marketing partners, whatever it looks like. But there's such a hidden cost to the hiring piece.
Thing that's huge is, what if you hire the wrong person? That's terrible. The average cost of a bad employee, I think, is $50,000. It's insane. Or the world,
something like that. It's something like half the year's salary.
Yeah, it's huge.
So Paul, I want to go back because I have a story that's sticking out in my head, because this guy is on our team. Great person, like great personality, a lot of fun. Everybody loved him. We kept him about 6 months too long into a 9-month stint with us. This was like 2 years ago. He just got a new job on LinkedIn, and Brittany was like congratulating him and stuff, because we really like him. He's like 28, 27, something like that. But we kept him too long, and it's such a hard thing to do, because most business owners care about people. Most do, not all, but most do, where they bring someone in, they want to take care of them. It's like an extension of their family or their children. Right. And so cutting that is like, it's not just, someone could be performing poorly, but almost like internally, like we feel like a failure because we didn't have training, we didn't hire the right person, all these things.
The number one reason people don't hire people is emotional pain. They don't want to go through it. They'd rather endure the
breakup.
performance than go. I mean, how many people in a bad marriage for 30 years? I mean, it's because you don't want to go through the emotional pain. So you keep the world's worst employee, one who's not bad enough to fire, good enough to keep, and they suck. And they just kill an organization. And unless you have an ongoing recruiting process that has quality people ready there to take their job if they leave or you let them go, you're going to put up with mediocrity. And that's not a good idea. It's
Oh,
expensive.
you're right. Yeah. B players hurt organizations more than people realize.
Right.
Because of the fact that you can, like, I've read different studies on B versus A team members, and it's C and D's, like they're obviously bad choices, so you tend to get rid of them quickly. The B's, they just hover in there just good enough, don't make a splash, collect their paycheck, and then but they don't grow things, they don't grow the company.
That's your whole stand. I mean, I was a coach that good forever. I worked with thousands, and most of the clients I work with would have, I'm going to call him John Doe. Every week's about, John did great this week. Oh, John sucked this week. John did great. And, I say, let John go. Well, he's okay. We had dinner with him last night. He's not a bad guy. And then, oh my God, John.
We show up for work.
Yeah.
He showed up.
I know he crashed the truck, part of the person's fault. I mean, dude, just fire him. And yet, literally for 6 months, we're having conversations about John and what he did right and what he did wrong. And it's really hard. And so that's why I say fire fast and hire slow. But the fire fast is hard to do because of the emotional impact. So people put up with mediocrity, and it makes their life really hard to bring down the standards of the whole team.
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, that you're still working with John, and John shows up late. He doesn't tell the truth all the time. You only trash your company once in a while. Wrong guy, right? But he's still there. And so that tells everybody else what you're willing to tolerate.
Yeah, 100%.
It sets the bottom line.
You mean guilty?
Oh yeah, we're all guilty of that. Like, it's just like, it's one of those things, like, I don't know how many times I've heard that with hire slow, fire fast, but you have to go through it and live it to realize when it's happening. Because otherwise you just don't know the signal. Like, at some point it's like, you just got to do it and just live with it. And so it's a little bit of pain, but long term, it's so much better when you reflect.
John, Josh, that's why I say anybody, the question I ask people is, if you're going to start your business over tomorrow, right? Everybody's gone. If there isn't anybody you wouldn't rehire, you should fire them.
That's a good end of year assessment to do.
And people know that in their heart.
Merry Christmas.
They may not like the answer, but they know. And you can either act on it or suffer. That's your choice, but it's up to you.
Yeah. I agree.
I love that, Paul. I love the no nonsense. Like, this is just the way it is. Just
the emotional side of things, though, is challenging. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. But we appreciate you hanging out with us, Paul.
Where can people find more information if they want to do a demo of your applicant tracking system?
Contractorstaffingsource.com. All right. And they can book an appointment with me. I sell sales in the company, and I'll be happy to show up to do it themselves, or we can do it for you, but not to explore it. There isn't a problem in the construction industry if you've got the right people doing it for you. I've had no problem finding people in every market in the country for every job. There's occasionally miss. If in the middle, like Mountain Home, Arkansas, there's no town for 800 miles. And when a project manager not going to pay me enough money, it's really hard. But if you're any kind of metro area, you're paying fair wages. I said we've hired 2,500 people. Where the hell they come from, right?
Yeah.
So it is doable. So if you're having a recruiting problem, I'm sure when you're pointing your fingering at somebody, you got three fingers pointing back at you, right? It's you. It is not the industry. It is not what you're doing. It is not the market. It's you. And if you can own that, then you can fix it. If you blame other people, you're sort of screwed. I mean, oh well, it's the economy. There's no good carpenters out there. And just as a quick divergent, what's happening today with a lot of private equity coming into the industry, and so I call it the Walmartization of construction. Remember in the old days when there was, like the corner drugstore and a market and all that kind of stuff, right? And they said, we can't find any people. There's no good people want to work here. Well, Walmart goes outside of town. Somewhere they find 300 people to work there from somewhere, right? Because they're good at it. They do better marketing and they suck all the business out of downtown. Oh my God, look what happened. Well, what's happening in construction now, there's a lot of private equity coming in because AI is disrupting tons of other industries, but it's not going to disrupt construction for a while. Like roofing, AI is not going to do the manual labor for a long time.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't know. Those Tesla robots are pretty damn
All right.
impressive.
So they come in, and what they're doing is, like, if some guy's got $10 million, he goes, I'm going to start a roofing company in Nebraska, because he knows how to market, he knows how to recruit, he knows how to run a business. It's a good industry. He'll just kill it, and all the guys that are depending on their friends and family to make the business work are going to go away. So you've got to get on board. Use good marketing, use the tools. It's all available now. Use recruiting. Use those tools so you can effectively compete in your market, because it's coming, guys. You can't go, oh, well, I've been doing this for 30 years. It's all good. I use my friends and family. I don't use modern recruiting techniques. I don't use my marketing techniques. I just depend on reputation. You're going to be gone.
You're right. You're right.
Boy. Awesome, Paul. This was great.
We appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate you hanging out with us today.
Thank you.
100%. If anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Paul or Josh or myself. We'll just direct you to Paul. But I appreciate you hanging out with us. And until we talk again next week, hope you have a fun and safe week and profitable week today.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.